There is new information tonight in the death of a 9-week-old infant named Chance Walsh. The Northport baby was allegedly killed by his parents and buried in a shallow grave last year. The Department of Children and Families saying an error was made by a hotline counselor. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is here now with the latest. Dwayne?
Well, Scott, a new internal report from DCF admits the agency ignored a tip that could have potentially saved Chance Walsh. Now, the organization has initiated a change.
The Department of Children and Families releasing an internal review of how the agency handled the case, admitting an error was made the day after Chance was born. Last July, an anonymous caller told DCF that Chance was born to parents who were heavy drug users. The call was screened out because it was thought to be hearsay. Executive Director of the Child Protection Center, Doug Staley, applauds the caller's efforts in taking the first step.
At the other end, they're looking at a matrix. Does it rise to that threshold? And if they tell them it doesn't rise to a threshold, they're not going to accept it, and you still have concerns, you have a right to speak to a supervisor.
According to the review, the counselor has been reassigned. Following Chance's death, all similar cases are now to be directed to a supervisor.
We can look to improve the process and the training at the hotline to make sure those reports that need to be investigated are accepted and that it goes through that correct process.
There have been changes every year to help improve the process. Staley says that hotline receives thousands of calls each month.
So it's real easy after something tragic does happen, and this was obviously very tragic, to come back and say these things should have happened. The reality is they're still people, and the reality as people we all make mistakes. So we're just trying to put as many safety nets in place as possible.
Chance's mom, Kristen Burry, took a plea deal and is currently serving a 25-year sentence. His dad, Joseph Walsh, is still awaiting trial. Staley says it takes a collaboration of many to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Law enforcement, state attorney, Child Protection Center, DCF, guardian ad litems, we're all part of that system. So when we focus on one entity failed, we really have all failed.
And we reached out to DCF for a statement, but our phone calls were never returned.